Right, so it's the 28th of March 2024. I didn't have much sleep last night because I didn't go to bed until about 7 o'clock early, because I had a good night, because I went with one of the neighbours and we live higher and went camping, so, kind of, and it started raining, so we walked back. But it was fun. Let's get on with today anyway. So today I got up about 10, woke up about 10, but I didn't get out of bed until about just before midday. So going out, the setups are a bit negative, like black and blue cars, black and blue red, drain covers it over, trying to choke me out with a catalytic converter, bit of colliding, but not too bad. At the catalytic converter hot point, again they had to time some verticals there, and at the moment I should probably put the tent away from last night, bring it back and reuse it in a different area tonight, because the neighbour's more familiar with Nine Springs and I have not been to Nine Springs for quite some time, especially in the woodlands, so I like to start going there a bit more frequently, so that'd be great. So not bad, not too bad. There was a couple of people that photographed me with their phone, a bit of an evil look, possible threats, just seemed a bit negative walking through the town part, whatever you want to call it. But when you compare it to other days in recent times, not too bad at the moment. We've got the whole day ahead yet, so not quite sure what's going to happen. Right, so you had Four Wheels van and Polygon van come together. Right, going back to where I am now, there's a wheelbarrow pushed up me. What else? Reached that roundabout, and there's about 150 vehicles, several worded vehicles, but the wording on those specific vehicles are meaningless. There's no suggestion. It's like Eurocell, Ben Malley, or it's like that, or, you know, it's not Provia, Provia. It's not really any form of suggestion. However, you did have like a gun-looking, you know, sexual, couple of black and blue, but most of the cars were like black, white, so not too suggestive. And there's only been 3 cars down that road, which I mentioned, where you can have 45 minutes or an hour without a single car. In actual fact, it's been quite quiet, to be fair. It's been a good afternoon. So there's been a few things that have occurred going to the spa shop. However, when you compare it to the setups that usually occur on that road, it's quite literally no setups at all, just a few. So that surprised me a little bit, because that road's usually packed with there's someone shouting over there somewhere. Alright, anyway, I'm going to get on with the setups. No, it's not shouting, it's strumming or something. Okay, just made a bit of an unusual sound. Right, so you had a couple of catalytic converter setups, but when you consider there's about 50 plus vehicles that were started before I turned around going back the other day, then obviously you're looking at about just 3 started cars in the whole of that road in both directions. However, you did have a Bradford's van my way, a van with a load of zeros on it, Abri timed, grey, blue, white, a bike timed to a stretch, and a Jenny Lerner car. So you had that. But if we go back the other day, I turned around because of all this heavy action, so But what did occur the other day was, I think it was yesterday actually, during the day. So you had a partnership van timed with a Tesco van, a Joy van, a Pure van, and you had a Cess van, and I think there was a couple of other vehicles as well, which was making the suggestion that there was going to be replacements, light replacements. So basically what they were making the suggestion of is there's going to be a sexual replacement to this Lauren curse when it comes to a sexy lady. But they're also making the suggestion that this is going to be a pure looking lady. But obviously the thing is, these setups have never done this before. It's only in the last week these setups have changed. And then obviously you've got to take into account there's one day going back 2 or 3 days ago now, and we had just the regular nasty malicious setups that were occurring like they usually occur. So let me just go back into the story of this Tesco curse. So obviously as Lauren works in Tesco's, I'm just going to go through it in brief because obviously I've done this documentary so many times, it's on nearly every video I do. So she saw me holding a CD, and back in those days it basically said, is anyone single, does anyone want friendship, and that I've been single all my life, and I just use that to write down my daily problems. But for the last 7 years I haven't done that because obviously it's causing offence for some people. Even though I've never had sex properly in my whole life, it just causes people to get funny with me or get a bit nasty. So I've stopped doing that, and I put a music track on there instead, which is usually the Alliance First Impressions on Reinforced Records. It has been released on Legend Records as well, but when they released it properly on Enforcers 6 on Reinforced Records in 1994, that was a proper release of it. So she was hinting, and she knew I wanted sex, and she applied that she wanted sex, but it came at the wrong time every time I saw her. Is when people were starting on me or things were kicking off, and I thought this is not a good time to do it, and then after that, quite literally, we came into the times where we were timing everybody who's rough or nasty starting on me, the wrong types of people. It was before they were mistaking me as Savem, but it was very near to when the threat came in. And obviously after a time, this Lauren, she just totally ignored me and went down different aisles, and then I found out that she was in a sexual relationship with Mike. Now this Mike was a builder, and he's threatening to smash me to fucking pieces, getting aggressive and threatening, I mean looking at me real dark evil, and threatening to smash me out when I was walking back from Tesco's, and I was put in a situation where I felt very uneasy, even though he's quite a distance away, because he looked like he could chase you and smash you to pieces and whatever, and lose his temper. And at the time that was occurring, I didn't actually know this was Lauren's possible boyfriend. And then obviously I saw them together, and then there was a couple of years where I didn't see her at all, and then obviously she became a single mother with 2 ginger haired boys, and then obviously basically I never saw her in Tesco's after that, maybe once or twice, and that's it. And now and again I had like there's more remarks, you know, sort of giving you a dirty look or saying something or whatever. So that was that. There's also a sun curse painting I mentioned, which has a look-alike to this Lauren. And you know I mentioned that the sun's always around me and it's never cloudy and all the rest of it, and being done in a clever way, like I'm being cursed. You've got this Lauren look-alike. There's more towards Britney Spears looking on the painting. You know, the celebrity Britney Spears, but Britney Spears how she'd look in her early 20s. So her legs are behind the cloud. She's showing off her sexual smooth body and the sort of colour, the skin, the type of paleness to it, the smoothness, pretty much matches Britney Spears' skin at the age she was in her 20s, early 20s that is. So she's posing as a sexual body, like I want sex with you, and pushing her hand down on this chap in a sexual way, by having a straight lip going doing it in like that way. I'm doing a sound now because I don't know how to describe it. It's like a straight lip that looks sexual. Many people don't give that sort of sexual expression anymore. They sort of move their lip to one side, or they pose as if to imply that they're a single mother, or give that more dry and sarcastic, sulky sort of look. They don't sort of smile or give that sexy, I don't know what you call it. Is it a meme? I don't know. But it's where you make your lip look like it's sexual. So it does that on the painting. Then obviously the sun's coming out of her hands, sorry. That's pushing down in a sexual way, like I'm trying to grab hold of him to have sex, but pushing down. Look, and then you've got this boy on the man on the path. So he's wearing clothing of someone in their 50s, but the actual picture only looks like it's a young chap, you know. But it depends how you look at it. I can't remember the picture that well. He was holding a torch in one hand, and what was it? He had like a backpack on, if I remember. I saw it once in 2015, 2016 area, but after about the year 2019, it looks like they've been publishing it on postcards, and the curse didn't take place back in the day of 2015 or 2016 when I was going to Tesco's and saw Lauren. It took place straight after I saw the reissue of it being published commercially on postcards. And anyway, the rest of the picture, apart from this person where she's shining the sun down like a spotlight, is all cloudy, rainy, a mystical type painting. And you had like a little barn or something like that, and a sort of hut or farmhouse or whatever. I can't remember the picture that well. And then there's a possibility that you had a lightning strike in the far corner, but I only got a glimpse, obviously. And when I didn't think to buy it, you know, when I saw it for sale, it was a case of, yeah, I've seen it before, sort of. And I thought to myself, yeah, I've seen that before. Well, yeah. I was sort of in a sort of low state, didn't really take it in. And when I got to the bus stop, I realised that there's more detail, and I thought, I got to get this. But the problem is, it was 4:20. It was the last bus back. So I went there a few days later when I could get on the bus again, and the picture had sold, or it wasn't on the shelf. And then obviously I asked the lady what the name of the artist is. She knew. She wrote it down on paper for me. I lost that paper, and I thought, oh fuck it. But I do know that the first and the second name are both at least 5 letters long. When I went there about a few months later, about 3 months later, I saw the same person again. The attitudes changed. They weren't in a very happy mood, and they insulted me as being Savan when I'm not Savan, and saying I'm a sicko or whatever behind my back, sort of making me look like I'm small in there. And when I started asking the same question again, the attitude was a lot different, and I was sort of treated as a piece of dirt. So I decided to continue looking, and I've never found it. But anyway, this sexual curse doesn't seem to be coming true. However, what I will say is the last week, these setups or suggestions have been making a sexual suggestion frequently on nearly a daily basis. But there was one specific day going back 2 or 3 days ago where I thought all these setups ended, because we went back to real nasty malicious setups on one specific day. But then I thought that was it. I thought it was the end. So I was documenting. I thought that's it. And then the following day there was no setups hardly of and sexual suggestions. And then obviously you got today where I wouldn't say there's too many sexual suggestions, but it's there. It just seems to be a day where there's not many setups at all, so this is good. So so that's what it means when it comes to the Lauren curse. And obviously when I went into the spa shop, although this Lauren lookalike was in there, this was a much older lady that's less attractive, with a bit more of a sour look, but you know, had that sort of facial appearance that Lauren had that worked in Tesco's. Right, so there's been a bad apple in the batch van and a Tesco van, and tying to a stretch has been a bike, and on that road ahead a light blue mixed with white, and now there's a bike tying to an erection my way coming. They're stepping up the setups. At the roundabout they've stepped up the setup, so we've had the Wilmot's lorry on top of what I just mentioned, pipe fix, red sexual car, black white, Olympus van, black white, blue, black, grey, black, dark green sexual car, white, black, grey, BCL car, or van, sorry, black passes on the roundabout and blue out the road, red, grey, fuck's sake, black, grey, as you can hear, bonus bike with bike it written on the side of it. That's from behind, then timed in front, and then goes past in front. So grey, white, blue sexual with light on, PTGS van, orange sexual car with light on. Also I had to drop my fag because the setups were getting very heavy. I smoked 3/4, but I will have another one in a minute to make up for it. Though I am trying to cut down because I'm getting through nearly a packet a day at the moment because I'm being naughty. And when I have a drink I just smoke, so also I need to cut down on the drink. Getting there a little bit to what it was, but it's, yeah, still bad. I've got to consider my health, and obviously problems with poor muscle pain in the lung, though I don't think that's anything to do with the smoking. I think that's another issue, though I am going to start cutting down. So obviously I'm going to have that fag in a minute, and then probably that'll be the only one until, you know, later on this evening, and then I'll have keep to a limit of about 3, maybe 4 tonight. And obviously on the alcohol I've got to cut down on that. So the road where you can have 45 minutes or an hour with no traffic, you had a motorbike, a bike only my way, and 9 cars. And then obviously it's busy at the roundabout. However, coming onto this road there's only been 3 cars, which means that the setups have dropped on this part as well. But let's see what happens next. We're 4 cars now because you got that one. The record breaking was 9 up until a couple of weeks ago, whenever it was. Then we had days where there was 17 on a regular basis in each direction, 20 plus, 25 plus, and there's even been up to 30 or possibly more. And then it started to calm down a little bit, even during the time period of the positive sexual setups. But I don't know what's going on at the moment. Last 5 days there's actually been over 4 people in Barrack Cemetery. I think I mentioned it earlier. Every time I come here, and they've got more people here now. While I'm sitting on the bench, I've noticed that they've increased the traffic flow, and this is the bench where you've got the catalytic converter stench that occurs. But obviously I can't go anywhere else because there's people in the graveyard at the moment. Right, so some form of robbery. There's nothing left and something like that said. I couldn't make out what's being said. A crow said, basically fuck. Justin, I can't say the name, and it's not suitable to say, and it shouldn't be coming out like that. There's been a further 60 to 80 cars while sitting on the bench in the graveyard. Another thing that's happening again today is there's paranormal tapping under my feet. I don't exactly know why that's occurring, but that all started in 2019, but it's been less frequent over the last 3 years, something like that. But why that's occurring I do not know, and it's not caused by any mental illness like schizophrenia. This is a physical occurrence, but God knows what's causing it. Right, the traffic flow now is reaching about 100 in total. It's just going on and on, but obviously, like I said, I need a rest. Initially I wanted to sort of get maybe lie down for a few minutes on the bench, because I didn't get much sleep last night, but whether that's going to take place I do not know, because obviously the graveyard's packed. Right, so the continuum of traffic is now another 20 or so's passed, but like I said, there's people in the graveyard, and before I lie down on the other bench or whatever, if I can, that is, I'm going to have to put up with it. This is why they're setting it up, this is why they're causing it, because a catalytic converter smells like the smell of vinegar, and rubbing 2 stainless steel knives against garden cress, except it's 50 to 100 times stronger. As you can hear, it's just a persistent flow of traffic. It's done on purpose. Well, I'm just going to have to go down, just to avoid disturbing the peace. No choice, I get a bit annoyed now. We've reached about 150, so yeah, getting a little bit annoyed down the street. It's got to stop. Right, so I've been on the phone, and now we've reached 200 cars, and now I'm going to my proper bench where I can just chill out for a bit. Obviously there's still people here, but I'm just going to have to do it. Right, so these setups are starting to turn nasty now. So a seagull says sliced your wrist, sad cunt, and fuck. Something like that, B-A-B, I'm not sure, I can't remember. And 9 times loud bite to erection. Grey timed and grey sexual timed. Black and blue, black and blue, black and blue. Right, so you've had another 14 cars on this road. So after that, drain smashed over. Didn't make much noise, that one, but it's deliberately done to tell me that my life's down the drain. They're getting fucking spiteful again. Whereas the setup seemed to get controlled when I'm delayed or things go wrong or whatever. So it looks like they're stepping it up again. Right, so initially you had a car reversing out of a drive at me, and then obviously I passed the next drive on the same side of the road, and another car is trying to reverse out at me. Nothing at the next drive, but the drive after that, a car's reversing in at me, and then a car's reversing out at me at the next drive, on top of the cars that I mentioned. Since lying on the bench in the graveyard, just for 5 minutes, I've noticed that in the same way I did when I noticed I started getting the chest pain, or oh god, hang on. It's worsened. Then again, I've had 2 fags, but when I was smoking last night heavy, it wasn't affecting that specific issue, so I don't know what's causing it. Right, so this is the 14th car on this road. That's a very heavy amount of traffic for the distance that I've walked on, for that little bit. It looks like lying on the bench in the graveyard, or lifting heavy-ish things. I think I pulled the muscle out in the lung in the chest, and I got the pain basically the worst it's been. It's starting to heal up from about yesterday, so I'm not sure whether I'm going to be well enough to do what I want to do later on. The catalytic converter hot point, which I'm approaching, they're absolutely pelting the fucking traffic. There's been about, there we are, 2, 3. Hang on, they want to choke me with a catalyst. They're just absolutely fucking hammering the fucking traffic. So there's been about 50 cars in just 1 minute and a bit until I push record. Stepping up the setups. So what happened is you had the Lauren look-alike in the spa shop. Obviously this is a much older lady with a more sour face and less attractive looking, and then straight after that they just slammed the setups, just stepped it up for no reason at all. Right, so the road below could be very busy when I go to walk back on the over the bridge. There's been over 300 cars, which is a lot more than usual, and there's been a 9 times loud bike time to a stretch. Right, we could be heading up towards 400, and we're not reaching the end of the track. Blue sector as well. Right, so they're not letting me fucking cross over. There's been over 50 fucking cars have been on this road 1 minute. They're just absolutely packing it. Like I said, there's already been 400. May as well leave this on the call for the rest of the way. There we are, nearly colliding. Yeah, grey sector light on twice. The black sector, I mean. Delete last recording, but there's a couple of threats, HIV needle threat, and because I was just speaking to someone. Yeah, so there's been about 10 motorbikes, car up on car, pattern of corrupt way, like black and blue and sexual, owners of motorbike, sexual cars, whatever. Right, so the burning problems have been bad since I've been back. There's more setups, and I'd had to go back out, start a car chain out, something like that. It was a van sneezed at, being stabbed to set at the cash, at the ATM cash point, Tropa Callis, blue, black, bonus motorbike, bow whistles, drains it over. When I get back home, someone outside says he's getting smashed out Oh no, sorry, that's still out, sorry. Drains hit. Gun looking on car roof. Gun looking. Photo taken and my car reverses at me. And then when I'm back home, there's where the threat occurs. Rip off your door. You know that just. You know you fucking raped. Her just said. And then you've got, Justin, I know I know, Savenge, you said. So it's, kicking off a little bit. It's not by the neighbours in the building, it's by people outside. It's fucking kicking off.
That crack teacher Chris was the right hook.